the group, but we don't have the theme music up. So let's get that. We got to get that.
Gotta have music.
Okay, y'all.
Yeah, gotcha. We're live. Hooray.
We are live with the Fit Pro Show, and the music is not working. So today's going to be technical issues day. There we go.
There we go.
Fit Pros, we are here. We're just doing a second of that music. We can't.
You're doing great. It's fine.
Oh, thank you. So Fit Pros, I'm sorry for being late. I was broadcasting to my personal page for a minute there, and I had to stop the show and start over again. So I am glad we are all here. I'm going to delete that off of my personal page now. So all of my personal peeps got to see me looking like the fool that I act like for my Fit Pros on the show. So that's exciting. We are here today, y'all, with a very special panel talking about the future of fitness. And I'm going to give a little intro for each, and then I'm going to let them talk a little bit more about themselves. So first, speaking from the perspective of the studio owner and the small group training piece, we have Amy Mewborn, and Amy is an expert in launching and monetizing small studios. So Amy, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Mewborn. I left a 15-year, six-figure finance career to launch 2 San Diego fitness studios. And since that time, I have helped launch about 65 different studios all over the world. And they tend to be small group fitness with minimal equipment. So we'll do like cycling and Pilates and things like that, but not necessarily full-on gyms. But it's group training in small groups.
Very lovely. And you know, that really lends itself well to the current environment in terms of, I bet your studio owners were able to pivot a little bit quicker because of the little equipment that you mentioned.
Yes. Well, and I think that is one of the things that we'll talk about as we get through here is all of us have had this huge opportunity to pivot our current business models and potentially create income streams that will go with us for months and years to come. So yeah, that was something that we were on the first week when studios were getting shut down and being told that they couldn't open their doors. We were immediately looking for ways to preserve memberships, keep new members coming in, and provide services to our clients.
Well, beautiful. I'm so glad to have you here. I think it's going to be a really great discussion. And then next we have got Eddie Lester. And Eddie Lester comes from fitnessmentors.com. And that is a company that helps personal trainers get certified and get going and get monetized. Eddie, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, what's going on? Eddie Lester from Fitness Mentors, like Kelly mentioned. Fitness Mentors basically is a company that helps personal trainers transition their business online in the sense of adding additional revenue streams and really adapting to the new kind of future of fitness in that sense.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know that you guys have a course that helps trainers go online, and we'll talk a little bit about more about that in just a minute.
Yep.
I'm still not finding this live in the feed, but I know you guys
It
are
is.
saying that you're saying.
Yeah,
I saw it. It's there. It's there.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Denise Embassy, and Denise owns Muscle Mixes Music, which provided that awesome theme song that we were just dancing to. And Denise, tell us about Muscle Mixes and tell us about what you've been up to since COVID quarantine started.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise Imbesi, CEO and founder of Muscle Mixes Music for 30 plus years. And I have become the Dr. Fauci of the music licensing world right now. I'm on every one of these talks because we've been bombarded with questions and curiosity about what do I do? How do I use music virtually, live streaming, on demand? And we've already done that. You know, we've been in that business before. Obviously, we produce music for all different types of brands and shows and all sorts of things, as well as for fitness professional classes. But now that request has increased so much. So that's why I've been on the road. So
The
we're
Denise
here to help
Roadshow
out.
on licensing.
Denise Roadshow on licensing. That's right.
Beautiful. So I think that this is a really well-rounded panel. And the reason that I wanted to bring the three of you together is because of the different perspective that each of you brings. So I've been a group fitness instructor for 26 years. So I can kind of speak from the perspective of group fitness instructors. Since COVID started, my basically full-time job has been talking to group fitness instructors and personal trainers on this page and really finding out what are their needs, how can I be assistance, and then how can I get information out there that's helpful to them. And then Amy, of course, has the perspective of the studio owner and the small group training piece. And then Eddie has the perspective of the personal trainer. So I've outlined a few topics, and then I want to make sure that everyone watching knows, please throw up your comments and your questions, because we are here for you guys. So we're not here just to talk about what we feel like talking about. We want to answer questions. We want you guys to let us know what information you need from us. So the first topic that I've got, and I just want to go down the line with each of you on this one, is as you have watched the reopening plans start to roll in, or maybe even helped start to format some of the reopening plans, I would love to hear from you on the trends and the outliers in terms of reopening plans that you've reviewed. So what I mean by that is, what do you see as the big trends? What are the things that are happening in all of the reopening plans? And then what are maybe some of the weird or odd things that you've only seen in one or two, but that you thought were notable? So let's go backwards. Denise, can we start with you?
Sure. So, you know, I don't know of any state who's opened yet, the gyms, but I've been on a lot of webinars and panels listening to how people are going to open.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen somebody talk about how they're going to set in place, this is for the larger health clubs, a maintenance fee, like a yearly maintenance fee.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so and that'll kind of give them, one of the things that I also saw somebody mention when they mentioned that is that that they're no longer selling health club memberships. They're now selling people trust, because you know, you're really going in there to trust that that the place is going to be clean, disinfected, spaced out, that you're not going to leave there sick, obviously. So maybe the maintenance fee is not only to help with to offset some of the costs, but also to give people that feeling of, hey, we're here, we're really taking this serious, and you're paying for it. But yeah, I think that was pretty interesting.
Those are both really notable. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I've got so far.
Okay, beautiful. I wanted to say that I did get the call yesterday that I will be, this is shocking, actually. I'm shocked. And if my GFM is watching, I am really surprised, but I'm going to be teaching a cycle class next week.
Really? In what state?
South Carolina.
Cool.
I know.
Cycle of all things. Are they going to space people out, or?
Yes, they will space people out. It will be in a gym rather than a cycle room. They will not provide the mic, which is fine, because John from Fitness Mics has sent me a couple mics to try out and to show you guys. So I have my own mic, yay. And so
wow, I'm in shock.
I have my own mic. It will be in a gym. Everybody will be spaced out. Of course, the bikes will be disinfected differently than they have been in the past. But like I think I came on last week and was talking about that, and I was like almost in tears, like I will never teach another cycle class. I really thought it was not going to happen. So I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, but it will be different. It'll be a totally different experience. Okay, so maintenance fee and the idea of selling trust. And so, Eddie, let's go to you next. What have you seen?
And just to confirm, seen as far as the new where the personal trainers are now going, is that in that respect?
Yes, I would love to hear. So I think that you probably have a couple things because you've got personal trainers that work for themselves, and then you've got personal trainers that work for facilities. So maybe you could just tell us in terms of going back in general, if you are seeing information from facilities, you can tell us about that, but also going back as an individual personal trainer, I'd love to hear.
Yeah. So kind of the initial sort of shock was really just that pretty much all gyms just completely furloughed and or laid off, however you want to call it, all of the personal trainers and pretty much the entire gym staff. So there was this, well, then there still is this fear of do I still have a job at my gym? Will my gym survive? And then what can I be doing now to, regardless of any of that, try to earn income and just really survive this as well. So the biggest things I think are that there's still no clear picture as far as getting back, like you guys had just mentioned. There's no clear picture as far as what it's going to look like or who might be hired back. If the members will be there. I mean, there's so much uncertainty around the in-person studios, the in-person large gym chains. I've heard LA Fitness and 24 Hour Fitness have filed for bankruptcy. Not 100% confirmed on that, but that is it's most likely just a way to restructure their debt. But that does send a pretty big shockwave to what the future of fitness might look like. Really, with my interactions with trainers have been all about, hey, there's an opportunity now to get experience in taking your business online, and then B, afterwards open up the potential to maintain a revenue stream beyond or on top of what you may be doing in person. And
thank you for saying that. We talk a lot about in this group as well.
Absolutely. And really what I see that the future kind of evolving towards is that it's never been, we'll say, that I don't want to say enjoyable. It's never been that like top notch for trainers to be working for the major gym corporations, and they've never been treated that well. And I'm hoping that trainers through this can realize that as a private trainer and or working for a smaller studio that offers you more flexibility in the way that you offer your services and charge, there will be a push towards trainers earning more money, not only because they're working for themselves, but also because they have options for online revenue streams. Also, trainers will be tasked in building online services for their studios and gyms. I've actually had a podcast last week directly talking about how if you are a personal trainer that works for a studio gym, you need to be meeting with your gym owner immediately, talking about including an online service with any gym membership, with any studio membership, and helping them develop that. I think the future of personal training and fitness in general 100% will require an online option to keep people, or basically to keep the value there. It was very apparent previously that the direction was slowly moving towards online and offering online things because it's so convenient to work out from your home, or Peloton and Mirror are proof of that. But now it's really a requirement. And I think as personal trainers, there's a huge opportunity to be a leading force in this and offer services that, once again, can help you communicate and help clients succeed in their goals through the internet. So
yes,
I go on forever, but just kind of wrap it up there. That's the main focus.
Yeah, and we really should have been talking all along in all of this, because you and I are seeing a lot of the same things, you in terms of personal trainers, and then me in terms of group fitness. But I believe that there is an opportunity. I believe a lot of people have been forced to pivot. And so now you have an expansion of your skill set that does open up a new conversation with your GFM or with your manager at your gym. And, you know, I wanted to add one thing to that. I think that there's an opportunity to serve, I've said this a few times, I think there's an opportunity to serve specialized populations in a new way. So, you know, there was already Beachbody and Les Mills On Demand and Mirror and the personal training tools that you mentioned, but we have an opportunity right now to figure out who we really enjoy serving in a more granular way, and then serving that person over and over and over again across the country and across the world, because we are learning this skill set where we can go online and teach virtually or lead virtually.
Yeah, and just to slightly build on that, the opportunity for you to target a very specific niche within your city is quite limited. To where when you think about being online, your one small tiny niche that can be super specific has tens of thousands of people, and it's just your job to then connect with them and communicate with them. So
Exactly. Completely agree. And you and I are very into search engine optimization. I know we've both talked about search engine optimization in past conversations, and that might be where that kind of thinking is coming from, because it's easier to search engine optimize something from a local area and then go out with it. And it's kind of that same idea with finding your niche that you want to serve. And so probably something we will continue to talk about a lot in this group is finding that niche, expanding that group and serving it. So Amy, outliers and trends in the reopening plans.
So we haven't seen any studios yet be called to reopen. So I will tell you that a lot of our studios, though, are preparing to be able to reopen on a moment's notice. I'm here in Vegas. We have a lot of studios in California. And what we have found so far in Vegas and California in other areas of business is that literally the governors are saying, okay, 2 days from now, you can reopen. And the rules have been very strange in terms of, you know, what they've told restaurants to be able to do, and then how they've kind of changed the rules as restaurants have reopened and they have customers in there. You know, the conversation right now in studios is, are we going to have to wear masks as owners, instructors? Are clients going to have to wear masks? And then what does that look like? And then are they going to come back to the studio, or would they rather stick at home with their online classes that they've kind of gotten into the routine of doing? And, you know, for me, I have a Peloton tread here in my other room, and that's one of my main ways of working out here at home. Well, if I go to a bar class, which is what I do for my fitness out of the house, it takes me 40 minutes to get there. I get there 10 minutes prior to class. I take my 50 to 60-minute class, and then it takes me 30 minutes to get home. Well, now all of a sudden, a lot of our habits are changing. And so we're going to see studios reopen, and they're going to have probably half the capacity that they were allowed to have before. And then we're going to see that where classes for studios, normally you have the studio space, and then there's like a small reception area, and classes were about 15 to 20 minutes apart. We're going to see that we're going to have to start spreading those classes further apart in time to allow someone to come in, take their class,
and to go out,
get out of the lobby, clean all of the surfaces down again before everyone comes back in. So, you know, before, where you could get 2 classes into a 2-hour and 30-minute time break, it's now going to be a 3-hour time. You're going to fit in half the capacity. And then we're telling all of our studio owners that they should be setting up all of the equipment and all of the props between classes to make sure that everyone has their specific space. All of the props have been cleaned and disinfected. And then we were talking a little while ago about that feeling of safety and security. I don't know about you guys, but when we go into Trader Joe's here, they're scrubbing the cart down in front of you. They hand sanitize you. They ask you to wear a mask. So they've taken 3 very specific steps to make sure that everyone that walks into their store feels like they have done their part in trying to make sure that everything is clean. So I think we're going to see more and more studios doing that, and things are going to need to start becoming touchless. We're telling all of our studios that people need to check in on their phones instead of coming in and touching touchpads.
Mhm.
People are going to need to be able to come in and put their hands under a touchless hand sanitizer and wipe things down. Studios that maybe fought against having socks or shoes or something in a class, we're probably not going to have as much bare feet and some things that we've had in the past. So a lot of it, I think, is about being proactive as a studio owner and thinking about not only what are your state regulations, but what is it that you can do that make your clients feel like you went above and beyond to make sure they're safe. Because perception right now, I think, is way more powerful than the actuality.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's a great point. Yeah. Yeah. Great point. I think also that I feel drawn just to just interject this or say that, the Spanish flu lasted 2 years, and let's hope that we are not doing these kind of extreme measures forever. And I think I say that because I'm thinking in terms of a small studio owner that you're working with, and I'm thinking, okay, how long could I hold out, teaching half the class or holding half the classes in my studio that I used to hold? And how long can we hold out buying so much extra sanitizer? And so let's be positive and hope that
Right.
this is not going to be a forever thing, that it's going to be 2 or 3 years, and that we can start to ease up a little bit.
I'd like to, may I add one other thing to that? That was great, Amy, what you said. I don't know what it's like in other states, but here in Orlando, I'm seeing already our restaurants opened, and they're supposed to be limited to a 25% capacity. And already, I went on the weekend and there was a restaurant that was packed all the way. So I wonder what percentage of the people are just going to be like, I don't care. Maybe it's the I don't cares that'll go first.
Of course.
And maybe then, and maybe that some of the studios will read off of, they'll see, people don't seem to care that much. Maybe as time goes on, they'll care less. I don't know. I mean, I love the Trader Joe's. That's a great example because I go to the Trader Joe's here and I love the way they have that. They've got music playing as you're coming in. They make it really fun and party atmosphere, but they limit the number of people that are allowed in the store, and they've got you spaced out and you have to wear a mask, and it's great. It makes you feel really safe.
Yeah.
But they're a big corporation. They've got, higher liability and that kind of stuff. So they've got to make sure they're protected. It just makes me wonder how much, I don't know. I think it's going to start to, if they see that there isn't an outbreak again, and that we aren't back to where we were again, that I think people are going to start getting kind of lazy. You get kind of just like, whatever. That's
and then
just my
let's hope
feeling.
we're not back here again in October, but
Right.
that's a whole other.
Hopefully not. Yeah, hopefully not.
Well,
We don't want that.
I think it's really important that we all impress upon clients that they want to do everything humanly possible to follow the rules.
Yeah.
If they're
I agree.
sick, don't come to the studio. Please don't endanger other people in the studio. Please don't endanger someone's business by making them be forced to shut down again because there was an outbreak in their studio or their business. Please, please, please be mindful of what everyone is going through and how many businesses have had to fight to reopen their doors. Yesterday, my husband and I went to Total Wine here to get some wine, and there were people just standing on top of each other. And I kept telling my husband, I'm like, stay 6 feet apart, stay 6 feet apart. And it's not because I was worried about my health. I was worried about the fact that we're hearing in some states that there are people that are going out and like spying in these businesses to make sure that the rules are being followed. And I would hate to find out that Total Wine had to shut down because people weren't following the rules.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point. You got so many likes and hearts on that. And I think that's something that we can all take away, because we all, at the end of the day, we're either working with somebody who works with individuals, or we're working directly with individual end users, participants. And even no matter how we feel about the whole thing, it's important to enforce the rules.
Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, sorry, go ahead. We can talk all day.
All right, so I want to hear about the biggest changes that will be coming about, and I think we've covered a little bit of that, but not everything. So for Amy, you can tell us maybe about studios, and then we'll go to Eddie, and you can tell us about personal trainers. Biggest changes that are coming.
So I think that online classes are here to stay, and I think that is a huge positive, and it's something that every trainer, every instructor, every studio should be embracing, because number one, I think that we choose our studios and continue going to our studios and our fitness locations because we end up building a community around those people. And I think it's really important that we continue to take the culture that we create in our physical businesses online. And the studios that have done the best through this that I've seen personally are the ones that have continued to do virtual happy hours. They've continued to do social events. They've built libraries where if someone wanted to go and do a legs class or a glutes class, they can go and find that piece where, before with studios and gyms, a lot of times people would ask to freeze a membership if they were going to be out of town for a couple of months. Well, now if you have online classes that are part of your membership, all of a sudden that makes your membership way more valuable. I also will tell you that I think that this has been a watershed moment in terms of branding yourself as a fitness instructor. And I'm sure Eddie will talk a lot about this. I said, I bought a tread back in January, and Peloton has done such a good job with the establishing a rabid fan base around their instructors. And if you go and you look up on Instagram, any Peloton instructor, they have hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers that are commenting on their things, and they're taking you on a day through their life. And, we're finding that we really want to connect more with people. And this has been such a good opportunity for the instructors and the personal trainers to go and brand themselves, not just their studio or their gym.
Really good point. It makes me wonder a lot about, because I've been thinking about this anyways, how is Peloton structuring those agreements where we're about to make you a superstar, and at what point does there become a conflict when a Peloton instructor leaves and takes some of their book of business? Because that's going to happen. It's going to happen with all of us. I'm seeing comments right here where they're saying that gyms are already trying to tell the instructors, if you are teaching for us, you may not have an online class. And then instructors are going to have to make that decision whether they.
Wow, really? That's
Now,
interesting.
Rocky just said that.
We're going to see whether or not that's going to be enforceable, because California is always the one pushing the boundaries and testing things out. And in California, you're no longer allowed to be an instructor and be an independent contractor. You have to be an employee. Well, if you're an employee, then you can set those type of rules. But if someone is an independent contractor, you normally, in most states, non-competes are not enforceable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell an instructor, they can't do that. But it's not officially enforceable. Now, they could potentially lose their job. So, I mean, you know, there are definitely some dangers there, but I think that we're going to see that the marketplace is going to open up a lot, and it's going to open up in favor of the instructors that go out and do market themselves and do a day in the life. This is what I eat. This is what I do for my workouts. Come out with me and my dog and let's walk around. You know, I mean, we are so disconnected from people that this is such a great opportunity for people to find you and love you.
Very true. Very true. And I need to correct what I just said. Rocky said that she was told she could Zoom.
Okay, good.
But same issue.
Yeah.
We're going to see conflicts all the way around with that.
Okay.
So Eddie, with personal trainers, biggest changes coming.
Well, kind of to build on what you guys were just talking about there, the we'll say need, and this is kind of for all online personal training, but the need to have a human to human connection is going to be, in my opinion, where the entire internet needs to go for services online. You know, when we think of so many things that we do on a daily basis that have been interacting with people in the outside world, yes, that will come back, but this is going to scar, we'll say, people's kind of psyche in the sense of just, it's always going to be on their mind, at least for the next 2 to 3, 4, or 5 years in that sense. You know, I even find myself doing unique things that I would never do, but just because of it's constantly on my mind. So what that's going to force is people to, we'll say, turn to online services more frequently. In my opinion, the last 2 months has shown that the confidence level of consumers with online services, and specifically fitness online services, has, we'll say, come to a 100% acceptability rate. Everyone realizes that yes, I can get a completely great, amazing workout through the internet online, whether it be a live class, a program, a group exercise class, working one-on-one with a trainer via video. The equipment issue will always be there, but that's why there's going to be so many opportunities for you know, just cheaper at-home workout equipment, which that industry, by the way, has more than doubled. I think almost 300% for at-home workout tools. You know, dumbbells. I thought it was the funniest thing. If you go to Amazon, well, last week or two, and try to buy some dumbbells on Amazon, there's people selling like the Bowflex dumbbells that are like 0 to 25 and 0 to 55, or 2.5 to 55. They're selling those for $3,000.
Oh my goodness, that is shocking.
When they're usually only about $300 to $400. And that's because every single at-home workout piece of equipment got sold out of stock at every department store, and yeah, online as well. So basically, the future is very, we'll say, cohesive to your own individual brand, and then communicating that in a way that's relatable and creates a human-to-human connection. And that's one of the things that we teach most specifically right now, is because what's the most funny is that when the internet and social media kind of first started out, it was these people posting about, you know, their more about their fake lives and their you know, kind of what they wanted to achieve, and this sort of fluffy cloud-like image of who they are. And those got a lot of followers in the beginning. It's like, oh wow, that's so cool, I'd want that too, or I want to be like that person. Now the people that are most successful, and Gary Vaynerchuk is one of these, are the people that are just talking into their phones, being as real as possible. And what you're going to see, and this is a cultural shift in my opinion, is that we now look to the internet for our human-to-human serotonin buzz. And what we're looking for is real people sharing real issues with real solutions. And when you start to think about your ability to be successful online, that is where the future is. Because as soon as you're trying to promote your amazing product that helps people lose weight, and it's all about this sort of like we'll say kind of a vision or fluffiness around like how to do it. That's not as attractive anymore to the person that's showing themselves struggling to cook all their meals, or showing themselves struggling during a workout, or sweating on their phone as they're doing a workout, things like that. So really, I think the future, and that's kind of what you guys were mentioning, was this personal brand. And all the Peloton instructors have hundreds of thousands of followers, because what are they doing? They're getting your attention for 20 minutes to an hour directly to you, and everything that they say, which I actually just started Peloton because I've been locked inside as well. Everything they say is about themselves and you and your future, and the realness in the moment, and trying to enhance people's mental sort of acuity towards their life, and that builds a relationship, even though the person's not even talking to the Peloton instructor.
Mm-hmm.
That little high five button on your screen, you feel like you're a part of this community. And the goal, in my opinion, for any future fitness instructor or personal trainer online, is to generate that culture and be themselves or to the realest they can possibly be, because that's where the success will occur, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really interesting. And I was thinking while you were talking about the high five button about my daughter, and she had commented on, she's 14 and she was following somebody on TikTok or I don't know, somewhere. And she had commented, and then that person commented back, and she felt like a rock star. Like she's freaking out because she got a comment back from this Instagram celebrity or whatever. And but that just goes to show you, like, somebody watches you, you guys are watching me, and so you're getting to know me. And so I may be in the grocery store or somewhere, not that this show is popular enough for me to get recognized in the grocery store, but if I were somewhere, you may walk up to me and you may start talking to me. And I've heard of that happening from podcasters that I listen to, and then it's almost like you think you know me, and it's just because that watching, that connection, that you get to know the person that you're watching. So the other thing that I wanted to mention was with group fitness, I wanted to piggyback on the Bowflex thing and talk about just that we are going to see people carrying their own equipment. So we've talked about this before. I think that you're going to see people with a little bin rather than just maybe a gym bag, and it's going to have their bands in it, their towels, their yoga mat. There's not going to be any more shared equipment. And then I think with that, you're going to see less weights and more bands that can be carried around easily. So I think we all need to be refreshing our skill set on bands if we are looking to go back into a facility to teach groups.
That's awesome.
Okay, y'all. So, Valerie says, I'm more than certain you would be spotted in a grocery store, maybe by somebody that knows me. So Denise, given all the attention that music licensing has received, how will the focus on licensing for music and maybe other broadcasting things be different? What are you seeing there?
Wait a minute. You're saying that Mel Robbins doesn't know who I am when I'm watching her on?
Wait, I thought we were
She knew me. Sorry, I just had to say that. Yeah, music licensing is going to be very, very interesting. And I've been paying close attention to see, what, if anything, is going to be changed as we, well, during COVID, I kind of had a feeling nothing would change, as it hasn't much. But I saw somebody, excuse me?
Things have been relaxed during COVID.
A little bit more relaxed, yeah. But what I'm noticing is somebody even mentioned this on the post, a question that I think I've actually heard several times from instructors asking me this: what if you're teaching class live and in person and live streaming at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen with the licensing, the music licensing at that point? I think that the music labels and the publishers are going to be forced to come up with something. It may take a while to come up with solutions for for this whole thing, because if we're saying that, let's just call it 50% of the fitness activities out there are going to be split. 50% will be live and in person, 50% will be virtual. If we're saying that, which I think is what everybody has said so far, that it's here to stay, at least, before they find a virus, or maybe forever, I don't know. Then the question is, what music are people going to use, while they're teaching the classes? And I think two things are going to happen. One is the bigger, larger record labels and the bigger companies are going to maybe come together and come up with some licensing that's a little bit more reachable, more achievable for this type of thing. And then the second thing is companies like ours, like mine, we're going to be challenged to come out with better virtual music. Why does it have to sound like elevator music that, like, you want to like turn it off,
That theme song does not sound like elevator music.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So we're going to be challenged with coming out with better, I'm just going to call it virtual music that could be played on video content, which I'm hoping that, we can do. I know, I'm confident we can do, my goal is to make it sound like a live DJ is playing, so that you really can't even tell that it's just, something that is just, like I said, elevator type music. So that's what I think. Those are my predictions. This is all a big question mark, guys. And I think that if I want to just, piggyback on what everybody else said, I think that definitely having some kind of internet presence is going to be an unbelievable way for instructors, especially, and personal trainers, to offset or augment their income by, with a new revenue stream. And music, I'm sorry, not music, money while they sleep, just that passive income coming in. But we all want to go back live, don't we? We want to touch people. We want to see people. We want to feel people. We want to smell. Okay, maybe we don't want to smell people, but I mean, that's what it's all about. And I'm no psychologist, but I have to believe that there's definitely some benefit to that energy that you feel when you're right in the same presence as someone. Nothing can ever replace that, I don't think. Although I'm with Amy, it is kind of nice to not have to drive 30, 40 minutes for a class. And, there are some benefits. I'm loving it personally, selfishly. I'm loving that I can take Kelly, I can take your yoga class if I want. I can take Jen Miller's class. I can take, people's class that I've always wanted to take. Robert Sherman did a cycle class the other day that I wanted to take. There's dance classes out there. I mean, it's just like the whole world has opened up. It's so awesome. Now, is that going to remain? I don't know. It's a big question mark. But I do believe in everything that I've heard that at least, I don't know, maybe 25%. I don't know if it's 50. Maybe 50 is a little high. But anyway, that's all I got to say.
Well, I think I want to piggyback on what you said and just say a rising tide raises all ships. I think what we have done.
Rising tide raises all ships. Okay.
Yes. With what we've done with group fitness, with online personal training, with online group fitness, is we have exposed more people to those things. So people who used to walk in the gym and just get on the treadmill were either forced or enticed to maybe try a class for the first time online. And so the hope is that maybe we've opened it up a little bit. Maybe classes that were traditionally for women were getting tried a little bit more by men. And maybe when we go back, we'll see a little bit different of a population. I'll tell you guys what I see next week when I go back.
I can't believe you're going back. That's so awesome. Yeah.
I know, but you and I are in the Southeast. So Eddie and Amy's in Las Vegas and Eddie's in Los Angeles. But the Southeast is driven by tourism dollars. And so there was a lot of pressure, I think, to open things up before the summer starts so that the restaurants and the hotels can, especially Orlando. Is Disney opening?
Nope, not yet. They have plans to open their retail stores this month, which are not inside the parks. They're going to do a phased opening, so. phased
Oh,
review.
Denise, I'm laughing because I just, as you said that, I was gonna just add you into my paid yoga group, and I pressed invite, and the first name that popped up was Denise. So it was like Facebook was listening.
There you go.
So
There you
scary.
go.
Now you're in my yoga group.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so you guys, I'm going to cut this last question off because I think that that we have covered most of everything that we were talking about, and I think I'm going to cut it off there. Before I do, though, you guys, any last kind of final thoughts, and then I'm going to kind of scroll through the comments and see if we've got any questions as well.
I go for it. Yeah.
I have one thing that I want every person to be thinking about, and that is insurance. Because a lot of times when you were an instructor, you were teaching in a studio environment, and the studio had insurance that covered you. And so for anyone that's taking their practice online and representing themselves in any way, shape, or form, I think it's really important to have insurance that covers you as a professional. But then also, one of the things that has been a sticking point in the legislature right now is, as businesses reopen, who's responsible if clients or customers get ill? If staff becomes ill, is it the business owner? Is it potentially the trainer or the instructor? So it is a really good time for every single person in a supply chain in business to talk to their insurance agent and just say, hey, what do I have? What does it cover? And how do I protect myself going forward? Because, we're finding that a lot of companies had business interruption insurance, and now the insurance companies are saying, we're not paying. This is an act of God, and so we're not paying. So there's a lot of things that we've never seen in our lifetime, that it's just good to have the conversations and know what your exposure is.
So true. And I want to piggyback on that and say that we do have, I'm typing it into the comments right now, we do have a special relationship with an insurance provider that is specific to group fitness. It does cover virtual classes, and it's insurefitness.com/FP for fitness pros. And I just put that in the comments, but they are kind of our people, and our guy over there is Joe Fagan, and he is part of the group.
Great.
If you've got questions. Eddie.
So I guess my last quick thought is, what was my last quick thought? It was going into just finally how you, we'll say, manage clients online. And just the major thing is that we've been noticing, and kind of building off what I said before, is that your communication needs to be elevated with your clients, because they're not maybe seeing you directly online, unless they're doing one-on-ones or live classes with you. It's really about always being in touch, and just like any relationship, that's so important, but especially with your clients, having the ability to reach out to them and just let them know that you're thinking about them and their goals, and them and their health, or even just them and their family, and you're concerned for what's going on in their lives, is so crucial when we think about the online space. Because there's nothing better than getting that weekly call from your mom or dad and talking to them and things like that. And you can really create a sense of human to human connection and relationship by following up with your clients, even if it's like once daily or twice daily. And our trainers in our certification course have been focusing on that as the main element of, we'll say, lead cultivation. And it's been paying off extremely well. And this is also just besides leads, just really just benefiting the relationship with everyone. But that your ability to really communicate is huge online. And we even recommend softwares that allow you to automate some of that. because a text message that says, I'm thinking of you in whatever way you want to say that for your niche, goes so far online. So just keep that in mind when you guys are launching your group fitness classes, your personal training online or one-on-ones, whatever it may be. Just anyone that you're talking to, communicate, as that's the best way to ensure success and build the relationship.
Very true. And I bet that you guys, if I had to guess, I bet you cover that and do a little bit of that in your course for personal trainers on going online.
Yeah, so we cover everything from basically setting up your business, lead generation, how to actually use tools like Zoom or technology to go online, then all the way through how do you actually go through the steps and set up a process from taking your client from the moment they pay all the way to their goals, and everything that's kind of included in between, including having workout templates if you're delivering personal training programs, pre-made programs if you don't want to program as much. We have 12 pre-made programs on there as well. Pretty much setting you up for success right out of the gate. That's really our focus, because if you're investing in a course that for education that's going to help you in your career, we want you to make that money back within the first month. So
yeah. Beautiful. And we will be covering that as well with the challenge. And so I know that I've talked to all of you guys about that. So this week we are doing a 7-day Go Virtual challenge with the group. And what that is going to be is we're going to start off tomorrow with a 90-minute workshop. And then immediately after the workshop, well, first of all, the workshop will take them step by step, take you guys step by step through setting up the simplest form of what it would look like to get set up to teach or lead virtually. And then how do you take payments? How do you manage your members? All of that step by step, 90 minutes in that workshop. And then over the next 7 days, we will be in a challenge Facebook group. I will go live every day. I will go deeper into one specific aspect of maybe whatever people are tripping over or struggling with. And then I'll answer questions. And the goal is that at the end of 7 days, that every one of you guys who has been on the fence about going virtual will have taught your first virtual class, and you will have taken money for it.
Nice.
So we're
Kelly,
I do want to say,
how would I sign up for that?
virtualstudionow.com.
Awesome. No, I think I'm going to join it, because that sounds fun. It sounds like a great experience for everyone in your group. So that's awesome.
It's going to be so much fun. So everybody that's signed up so far has been a really great group. It's going to be just an awesome group. And we're giving away some muscle mixes, app memberships.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, we're going to give away a head mic to the person that refers the most people into that challenge group. And so, yeah, you guys, I'm just going to encourage you as we wrap this all up to please go there, sign up. Let's get signed up, because tomorrow at 1:00 it goes down and we are off to the races. So virtualstudionow.com, and there's a lot of information in the group already about it. So hit those links. Denise, did you have any final thoughts?
I just wanted to say, well, first of all, everybody wants to know Eddie's dog's name. So Eddie, you might want to tell everybody. They're asking for your dog's name, so make sure you answer that.
Is my dog in the room or something?
Yeah, right back there.
Over your shoulder.
There he is, right there. No, that's Cabo. That's Cabo. Cabo's having a nice snooze. He likes to sleep while I talk. Right there. That's funny.
I just wanted to point that out. I saw that.
He didn't bark at all, so I didn't even realize he was there.
I did want to say that while those of you that are not able to teach live and in person, but you do want to go teach live, you're going to continue to teach live streaming or on demand, please reach out to us. We have some incredible deals right now on virtual music, and you don't have to worry about getting flagged or anything taken down. We've seen a lot, especially on Facebook. Facebook seems to be the strictest. They'll take the whole content right down, or they'll mute out the music, which would stink, or they'll, flag you or put you in Facebook jail. So you don't want to do that. So check us out, musclemixes.com. I mean, I can put the website down there later.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But yeah, so we got the name of the dog, Cabo.
That's
Cabo.
Cabo, yeah.
Aw, he's cute. He's
Thank
cute.
you.
But this is
Okay,
great.
y'all. And with that, I think we are going to sign off and call this one a wrap. I will see you guys again next Tuesday here in the group, unless you are signing up for the challenge. And please do, if you are on the fence at all, sign up for this challenge, because at the end of 7 days, you will have taught your first class virtually and you will have gotten paid for it. So the challenge pays for itself.
Yay.
Get out there, let's make it happen. And I will see you guys either tomorrow at 1 o'clock or next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. You guys, thank you so much for being on the panel. I think
Thanks, Kelly. It was nice meeting you, Amy. Nice meeting you, Eddie.
Nice meeting
Nice to
you.
meet you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
y'all. Bye.